Good morning, everyone. It's really early. I did not sleep last night. I was up late having to get a lot of stuff done, and then I just didn't sleep. I'm wearing I'm wearing my Sleeping Beauty pajamas. You can see there's Aurora right there. I am very excited about my book coming out, so I thought I would wear my Sleeping Beauty pajamas. My book is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty from the Dark Fairy's point of view, so I'm enjoying my very soft Aurora pajamas today. It's a really pretty day outside. My window's a little fogged up, but you can see out there I have a lovely tree right outside my window. It's a really pretty day. So I'm gonna try to wake up. I am not a coffee drinker. I'm, I think, the only real person I know who's not a coffee drinker at all, so not gonna go make coffee, but I'm gonna try to wake up, and I have some more emails to send and some things to respond to. And then I think I'm gonna film a little content for all of you. And then we have rehearsal. I have to run some errands, and I wish I could go back to sleep. Hey, so I'm walking through Times Square, and I'm still being really careful with my mask and everything. I'm on my way to rehearsal. But check out beautiful Times Square! It's been such a everything with COVID, and it's just, I don't know, it still certainly isn't back to normal by any means, but it's always just such a joy to be here. So I'm walking up Broadway right now, headed to rehearsal, running a couple errands first, but it's lovely to be back directing in this beautiful area. It's home. So now I'm down on 9th Avenue, and I am headed to this wonderful store. It's called Framing on 9th. It's at 52nd Street and 9th Avenue, and it's where I get all my stuff framed, and I have something very special that I'm going to get framed today. So Framing on 9th is closed, which makes me a little concerned because I definitely arrived after their opening hours, and I checked online and they're supposed to be open. There's a lot of places all around the country and the world, but in New York there's a lot of places that have closed, and to be honest, it's very bittersweet walking through this area, especially because so much of my life is lived here, and so many really special places are just gone. Places with really special memories, and I really hope that Framing on 9th is not the next to go. Gosh, there's been a lot of devastation from the pandemic, obviously, and I feel like we're not really talking about it. This is one of the things, sorry, not to be a downer. There's a loud truck. But all the people who have passed away are another. The theater where my show was, when the shutdown happened, there were people in front of house, people that passed away, and when we all kind of came back, everybody just sort of pretended like nothing happened, and it made, I don't know, it's hard, and we're all trying to get back. Oh my God, Petland's gone. Oh gosh, sorry. Speak of the devil. Petland is now closed. It was one of the last pet stores that was easily accessible to come get stuff. Gosh, as much as I love being back here, it's almost like I don't, in a way, because every time I turn a corner there's some other sad thing, and we're still very much recovering, and theater is not really back yet, and we're all struggling. So I'm gonna go down. I found another framing place online that's a few blocks away. I'm gonna head down 9th Avenue now, and I'm gonna check out, see if it's there, and see if I can get what I need done there. And yeah. So we are theoretically approaching framing store number 2, and it's a really nice day out. You can see the sun. It's been pouring rain and really intense the last several days, but it's sunny out now. Oh my gosh, this place has gone to, oh, sorry, I keep seeing all these new places that I kind of thought had hung on and haven't been down this avenue in a while, and they're not here anymore. But it's nicer today. It's supposed to get up into the 70s, so I'm kind of always cold, so I have my jacket, but even I might have to take my jacket off today. This feels very weird vlogging at you when you can't see my mouth at all. But I want to be really safe with masks and everything, so let's see if I can find this lovely store. So here we are at framing store number 2, and they appear to be open, I think. Let's see. Yeah, they're open, so we're gonna see what we can do in here. So one of the things I'm having framed today is a printout of the cover of my book, and I'm gonna try it with this frame. I don't know how I feel, but everything else in my house is kind of framed with that in sort of a very shabby chic way. I don't know, I kind of like it. It's good, it'll match everything else, but that'll be fun. I have my very cute little briefcase that I love. Got a couple Christmases ago, and it's really fun to take to rehearsals. It feels very lovely and elegant. So that was a bit of a disaster. I think because of, again, COVID issues, they're really understocked, and they don't have access to most of the frames in their store. So the frame that I needed is on major back order, and they can't guarantee that they can get it. And there was a very long line, and I kind of just had to give up to make sure that I could get to rehearsal on time. So we'll have to try that again some other time. That was fun. So now, fortunately, my rehearsal is only a few blocks away, and I'm heading there right now. So I'm looking for this rehearsal studio. I actually have not been to this rehearsal studio before. A lot of places closed down because of COVID, which has been really, really devastating. Sorry, I don't mean for this to be a downer, but this is a new studio that I haven't been to before that I hear lovely things about. And let's see, I think it's going to be right in here. So let's go inside. Oh, this is a lovely little studio. Hey, so I just finished rehearsal and it went great. I'm sorry, I can't film anything in rehearsal. I wish I could show you, but we had a great time. I have a lovely cast, and it's still beautiful out today, so I think I'm gonna take the train up, and I'm gonna run a few more errands. Join me on my errand running, it's delightful. So I'm walking by New World Stages right now, which is where my Twilight parody musical played. And that's the one thing I love about New York. You start to develop memories kind of every place here, and so every like store and theater you walk by, you have these really special memories, which is why it's really sad when things close. But New World Stage is where my Twilight musical happened, and I don't think that I've walked by this theater since the pandemic. So this is the back of New World Stages, with a lovely courtyard area in there that's a great hangout, but it's the other side of New World Stages. I love this theater. It's a great theater. They have great shows going on. Go check them out. They're awesome. But I'm going to run a few more errands, and then I'm going to go home, and I'm going to do some work in preparation for tomorrow. We have tech at the theater tomorrow, and then one more day of rehearsals, and then the show goes up on Sunday. And then I'm directing a reading on next week, so I have to do some prep for that as well, and I'm going to email some actors and make sure things are all organized. And then my book is coming out this week. So I have to respond to a bunch of emails about that. And there's some press that's going out. And I think the book trailer is going to be finished being edited either today or tomorrow. So that would be really exciting if it gets finished today and I can post that. So I'm gonna walk to the train and run these errands in this beautiful weather I'm so thankful for, and pick you up in a minute. There's the green girl. She's got new signs. There's my buddy Alex. Hey Alex! Oh, dang, here he is. He's in the subway. So we're now up on Columbus and 72nd Street, and it's a traffic light, and we're gonna go to what is probably my favorite restaurant in the city. This is Alice's Teacup. I love Alice's. I actually have worked here as a performer being Alice for a lot of events, and it's amazing. It's also very on brand for me. So if you haven't been here, they have multiple locations in the city. They're amazing. All their stuff's great. Alice's is amazing. If you haven't been there, it's a tea house, but so they do like a standard like high tea, afternoon tea, but they also have a lot of baked goods. They have just really good food in general. Like you can go get a great salad or an entree, and they have like hundreds of different kinds of teas that are all individually curated and are really, really good. So I highly recommend you check them out. It was touch and go there for a little bit during the pandemic. They thought that they might have to close, and I'm so happy that they didn't. But like I said, I have worked as an Alice there, playing Alice in Wonderland. It's the most delightful thing. I love it. But I was picking up some of their loose tea as a gift. And now I'm walking toward Broadway and like 74th, which for any dancers out there is Steps on Broadway territory. I'm not going to Steps today. I'm gonna go to Kinko's because I need a couple things printed. And then if memory serves, there might be another frame store near here that I might try out and just see if I have any more luck with. But this area is awesome. If you're in New York, I really recommend going and checking out Alice's Teacup. It's delightful. Everybody who works there is lovely. This is their Upper West Side location, and they have a couple locations on the East Side as well. They have a great cookbook, and everything that you can get there is just really great. That brownstone's for sale. Let's buy that. And this I just love. My first times ever coming to New York. I just love this area. So beautiful. Lots of greenery. Right up there used to be Jacques Therese. It's another one we lost. And also right in that kitty corner was one of my other favorite restaurants in the city called Josie's, and that also is sadly no longer there anymore. I hope the audio is probably a terrible mess. I don't have a microphone with me, but I'm gonna wait at this light, and then the light's directly in our eyes, but down that way is Columbus Circle and Times Square. So, I love walking in New York City, especially after rehearsal, especially when you're directing. You're kind of just sitting for a really long time, and I tend to be a very active, physical person. So if I didn't have so much to do when I got home today, I would have walked from rehearsal up here. It's a lovely walk, especially you can walk to the park if you want, which is always nice. There's some more COVID testing stations, which I'm really grateful are still there. Let's see, is it this street or the next one? I think it's down this way. That Bloomingdale's used to be an Urban Outfitters, and I used to love looking in there, like if I was early to dance class or right after dance class. Right up this direction, about 2 blocks or so, is Steps on Broadway. So that was a resounding success. I had to get my cover art reprinted out because when it got blown up and I took it to the previous framing store, we discovered there was a little mistake on it. So my publisher amazingly made the changes very quickly. So I went and reprinted it out, and now I have heard about another framing store that is walking distance. So I'm gonna go there, one last attempt, see if I can get this framed. And sorry, I'm distracted because we're very near the Triad Theater, which I have had 2 shows. There it is. There's the Triad. It's right up there. It doesn't look spectacular from the outside, but it's a phenomenal theater. I had 2 shows go up there. We did a development on my musical Lyra. It had its premiere at the Triad, which is a very dark retelling of the Little Mermaid story set in a Dust Bowl era circus. And then my musical, Spectacle the Musical, that also exists as a web series that many of you may have seen, premiered there literally right before COVID happened. I think we closed, and then the next week was when everything shut down. So it's a beautiful space. It's a gorgeous inside, and I really love working there and doing things. So anyways, I'm gonna try to find this other framing store that I've heard about. I'm gonna see if that pans out. If not, I'm just gonna cut my losses and go home because I have a lot of things that I have to do the rest of the day, including messaging some actors who really need to hear some things from me. So this is going to be attempt number 3. I've never been to this framing store before, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, so that was a no-go as well. They were lovely and very helpful, but I think there's just a lot of supply chain issues right now. So I think I'm just going to have to wait until I have a little more leeway of time to get this done, and hopefully they'll have it back in stock at some point. So that was a bust, but on the bright side, at least now I know what to specifically ask for instead of having to go hunting for the frame every time I go to a framing store. But it's got new stuff printed, and I'm tired. Definitely have not drunk enough water today. So I'm gonna go back home now, and I'm going to send a lot of emails. Hey, so I was planning on vlogging a lot more for you today. I wanted to show you the theater and some other fun stuff. And I got a sudden call that one of our cast members suddenly came down with COVID. Now, there's a possibility that the show is just going to be canceled. I've been waiting to hear if we have rehearsal tomorrow, what the decision is. I've been nervous. I went and took a rapid test. I know everybody else that's involved in the production is or is supposed to be. I haven't heard the results of that yet. I'm obviously very concerned about the cast member who's sick. I believe they're okay. I mean, obviously they're not feeling well, but they're safe and okay. And I didn't mean for this whole vlog episode to be a bit of a downer, but I'm still being very, very, very careful about all of this. And I know a lot of people out there are really just done with masks, and they're kind of just done with the pandemic. And I totally understand it. It's been a long time, and we all want to get back to normal. And,
I've had people get annoyed at me that I'm still wearing a mask, but we're really not out of the woods. And there's now a possibility that this could go through our whole cast, that if people don't have it already, that if we move forward with the show, that they could have it even though they're testing negative, and by the time they do test positive, they will have exposed who knows how many people between the cast and the technicians and the creative team and the audiences. And the truth is, I mean, for how much people are trying to say and people are trying to write about, like Broadway's back and theater's back, and it it is certainly better than it was at the beginning of the pandemic, but it's not back. And I don't mean to say that to be negative. I mean it as, I want theater to be back so bad. I'm so desperate for it to be back. I miss it so much. And when I'm in a rehearsal room, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I feel like I'm in my comfort zone. But it's not going to be over because we just decide we're done with it. Meaning, like, the pandemic's not over because we just decide we're kind of done having a pandemic. It's still really dangerous. Every single person I know that has done a show in the past, ever since things were started to reopen, has had shutdowns because of COVID, has had people in their casts get very sick, has had major COVID scares. And it's not just like a flu. Like, I know people who have died from this. When we talk about the fact that there are employee shortages, around the world, yet there are a myriad of reasons for that. But one of the reasons that I feel like nobody is talking about is the millions of people that have died that aren't in the workforce anymore. And I know some of those people. And at this point, I'm assuming we all at least know one of those people by one degree of association. So please be safe and please take care of yourself, because yeah, for some people they get COVID and they fight it off, and that's amazing and that's incredible and it's so much better than where we were, and the vaccines are really helping. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate from people with differing opinions, but there are people who legitimately can't get the vaccine for some reason, or are immune compromised, or various reasons, and this is still dangerous. And that's we've been rehearsing for all these days. I have been wearing a mask the whole time. I also can, in this case, because I'm the director, the general consensus is that you take your mask off when you're actively acting, which means that all the actors have been, right in each other's faces without a mask. And I'm worried about them, I'm concerned about them, and it just, one phone call and everything shuts down. And it's not just this production, it's everyone who's working at the theater, all of the people who are in the lives of everybody who is working on this show. And I don't know, I was so excited to, be back directing something in person for the first time since COVID. And it's sort of like the horror movie that just doesn't end. So please, let's look out for each other and take care of yourself and take care of others. And let's do everything we can to really help this go away as soon as we can. I know that there is controversy about it, but please, if you can, get vaccinated. I know masks are uncomfortable, but please wear a mask. Hopefully, maybe there'll be some, I mean, I don't even know what the good news tomorrow could be, because even if people are testing negative now, that doesn't mean that they're going to continue to be negative through the end of the show. So I will let you know what happens. And I don't know, if nothing else, if there's somebody in your life who is continuing to wear a mask and is continuing to be really safe, just show them some support, because I'm incredibly grateful that I have been wearing a mask even outdoors this whole time.
I'm back. I am wearing a different jacket, so it's clear that this is a different day. So our show got canceled. I think it was probably a good decision. We want to keep everybody safe, and everybody's continuing to test and whatnot, but no show. So I hope that we can come back at some point in the future. I think there's plans to, but we're all really sad about it. So I am gonna go for a walk in the park, and I'm going to prep for the next piece that I'm directing next week. We're here for the reading. This is so exciting. I'm so happy to be back here. Such a great studio, and there's so many wonderful memories. Lots of Broadway productions rehearse here, and there's lots of auditions and all the beautiful posters.
She was wondering if I could take this back to the conference this week.
We're gonna be right over here. So we just finished, and it went very well, and it was so much fun. We had a wonderful, wonderful cast with us, and they did great performances and absolutely wonderful feedback. And it's just, I'm sorry I couldn't bring you. And I wish we could be in a room doing that every day. COVID still obviously has a hold on things, but it was just delightful, and such a phenomenal group of people, and wonderful to be back in this space, in a room working on a fun project. So gonna head out and go get some more stuff done. Hey, so as a sort of either ironic or highly appropriate capper to this week, I'm on my way to get my COVID booster shot. I've gotten one before. I think this is my second one. This is the most recent one for the new variant, and I'm getting my flu shot at the same time. So I hope everybody who's able to can get it. I know, more controversy. So yeah, it's a really lovely day out. Again today. Well, thank goodness I got here early because this Walgreens where I'm going is inside the Amtrak station. That was not easy to find, so I'm glad I'm a few minutes early. It's Halloween time! And apparently Christmas. So that went well. There was, going to the drugstore and getting that done is always a lot of random paperwork and process, but people were very lovely and got my 2 shots right over here. So I'm glad I was able to do that. And now I'm actually gonna stop in Old Navy really fast because every Old Navy anywhere near me has closed because of COVID, and I never thought it would be hard to go in an Old Navy, but it's a nostalgic store for me, so I'm going to take advantage and I'm going to check out what's in there. I'm gonna go home now and I'm gonna do some laundry, and then I have a meeting and some other things I need to get done. So I think I'm gonna wrap up this vlog here. It's been a crazy, exciting week and lots more to come, and hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.